This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, I'm Shravya. Thank you for joining the workshop. I'm here to share the knowledge on LoadRunner Cloud. So far in my experience, what I have come through. Uh, Let me share my screen. Yeah, uh, LoadRunner Cloud is somewhat similar to LoadRunner. The prerequisite, which is minimum, we need to know knowledge on LoadRunner or any tool which has to be must to join the session. I hope the people who has joined the session has knowledge on any performance testing tools or anything. 50% is mandatory uh, to understand the session which I'm explaining. And the next thing is like the difference between the LoadRunner and LoadRunner Cloud. Uh, I hope everybody is aware of LoadRunner, where we can see the change. Like LoadRunner Cloud is what is a cloud-based infrastructure. The cost is minimal, and there are many protocols which is supported. But whereas the LoadRunner and LoadRunner Cloud differences, I would tell in a simpler way, is what like LoadRunner is like an own house. If you're buying an own house, you can stay for a lifetime. It is similar like in a LoadRunner Cloud. It is like an you're staying in a hotel where you're buying an virtual user hours. In LoadRunner, where if you are having 1,000 users, you can run the test n number of times, and you like the test can be run anytime in lifelong. But whereas in LoadRunner Cloud, it doesn't. We are buying the virtual user hours in that scenario where you will be running the test in hourly base. But in this is the major difference. But why LoadRunner Cloud is preferable is because like you have a case study where their clients are in like around 5 lakhs users, where you can't buy in LoadRunner. I hope like everybody is clear. I think it would be the session would be more interactive. Then I could, if anybody is having any doubt or so far, you can interact as well.
Hi, I have one question.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so you just said that LoadRunner, LoadRunner Cloud, it is having as a number of hours, right? Of virtual users will be number of hours.
Yeah, we buy virtual user hours.
Yeah, I think in LoadRunner also we have this license where we have number of hours is there where a license will be number of hours or number of days. So I think that is that license is for the normal load as well.
No, so
If I'm
far
not wrong.
where I have come through is like in LoadRunner Cloud, you will be having virtual user hours and virtual user days. But in LoadRunner, you buy for the lifetime, right? We get 50 users, but if you want to run beyond it, you buy the users for the lifetime.
Okay, so you're talking about the free, I mean the free license when you were saying that the community edition, normally we used to
Yeah,
download it.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, and so for load on a cloud, we don't have any trial version, so we can
Yeah,
use it like now.
we have trial version, but 1,000 virtual user hours we get.
Okay, and after that we have to pay.
Yeah, after that we have to pay. In simple ways, where if you are buying an own house, you can there's no like lifetime it is for you, the houses. you can use like you're going to stay it for lifelong and every day. Yeah. But whereas when you're in LoadRunner Cloud, it is like simply in on a hotel. You're charged like in an hourly base or something day wise. In that
Okay.
scenario, you can take, yeah. In the
Oh,
like when you're using for the next day hotel or something, it is charged as that way. But the basically the difference is like where in the load runner you can't if there is a scenario where you have to conduct a test for around more than 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs users in an application, but you can't buy lifetime users, and where the test has to be conducted only once and twice. In that case scenario, it would be very costly, uh, and it is no, there's no use buying for a lifetime because you use it only for once or twice. So in this case scenario where we go to LoadRunner Cloud and use the virtual user hourly based test, and this is where we can run large number of virtual user tests. I would like to give a case study where I have come across in my in my project, where I had an application of a radio channel where I have to run a test for around 5 lakh users for a 2 hour duration. In this scenario where you ask like as you said, why LoadRunner? If I choose LoadRunner, I can't buy 5 lakh users for lifetime. So I go for LoadRunner Cloud, and where I use for it is the test is for 5 lakh users for 2 hours duration. In that scenario where it like the cost cutting is also very low. So for that 5 lakh users, I we usually bought like around 10 lakh virtual user hours, because the in that as if you are coming from a performance testing background, we know we come across the bottlenecks, and the bottlenecks cannot be sorted in one day. So in that, if you are running, if you're starting a test and if you ended with that 5 lakh hours, but you find a bottleneck where we can't to figure it out again, we need one more another round of test. So in that scenario, we have taken double the amount of users, virtual user hours. And if like for that the approximate cost, it would be around 50 lakhs. I know it is a very huge, but it is a little worth it only. uh, this is one case study where we have come across for 5 lakh users. I hope it is clear.
oh yes.
So yeah, so once you start an like iteration initially, because if we can take a scenario where we are running for huge amount of users. So in that scenario, initial start, what you do is like run for an iteration, and then run with a 10 iteration. As you know, the bottlenecks are which it is not with the script. The bottlenecks are for the application wise bottlenecks. So in order to make sure the everything script wise everything is correct data and all, we run for an iteration and run for 10 iteration different users, and then conduct a dry run or smoke test for 30 to 40 users, and then confirm the application wise and the script wise is good, because we can't start a test with 5 lakh users, and like if we get any errors in the script or something, then our virtual user hours would be wasted. So initially while starting a scenario where we do this smoke test and all, make sure our data is correctly set and our iteration and all, the script wise it is perfect. So the LoadRunner Cloud, where I would like to show the application where we register for the LoadRunner Cloud. So we have a free trial with the Micro Focus LoadRunner Cloud where you get 1000 virtual user hours. You can start like playing around with this by registering. This is the register page. I'll be posting the link in the chat. And it is preferably to use your company email because I tried multiple times using my email, but it didn't work. So once you register, you will get a link to your email, and where it will get navigated. You can log in and start your free trial. I'll just show you the application. How does it look? So it will get navigated and you'll get launched. This is the home page where like you have home, load test, assert results. The license information where you can see here. See, initially once you are logged into it, you get 1000 virtual user hours. Available virtual user 996 by 1000. This is valid only for 1 month. So far anybody is having doubt?
So what type of bottlenecks we can expect when we have a more number of virtual users being executed, somewhere around, as you said, 5 lakh users?
Yeah, the bottlenecks where the application is capable supporting the servers are where you see web server, app server. You are sending like 5 lakh users is not less thing. Once you see the application, it's withstanding. It's like on the application when we are seeing how many users are holding is majorly where we are doing load test for. And even like if you are getting any 500 errors and all, it is not hope if you are in performance testing field, like you might understand where we see like the load is capable. Majorly the load is capable, or any errors are coming, or any timeout errors majorly is what. That is the reason we first initially do the smoke test and then start our 5 lakh user test. They are
So
case scenario. Yeah.
you might go for 30 to 40 or 100 or 200 users test, it might get passed. But when you go for
Yeah.
5 lakhs, it depends totally on your server capability, right?
Yeah, to check our server capability only, we just do the load test. But once if it is started to ramp down and to after 200, then we send the report like to the developer team. It's not capable. It is only valid for 200 users or something. As you said, we are checking the load capacity and the application with withstanding power.
So, so you when you go to the 5 lakh the load, you have seen the step down time or 500 server errors. What type of bottlenecks you have observed? That's what my question is.
Actually, initially when I started the test, I could see the users were ramping down after the 200 users, where I could see step down timeout and all timeout errors were more.
Okay.
So we have sent like to the developer teams where it is not holding, then they could work on the application. Next we have and then we have run the test.
Okay.
So yeah, if you see like majorly in LoadRunner, in controller where we observe the ramp up period would be around for 1000 users, what will like ramp up users, ramp up time. Anybody can tell if you are aware of controller? So like usually in LoadRunner controller where we give the ramp up like for 50 users we give 5 seconds. Slowly the ramping up is going to be, but whereas in LoadRunner cloud it has the elastic server. So this is the major advantage where we can see in the LoadRunner cloud. Automatically, it increases its consumption based on the consumption. It increases its bandwidth, the CPU or RAM accordingly. So 5 lakh users can be ramped up in 15 seconds or 15 minutes. So it has the high capacity, wherein if you are from the load runner background, controller background, where you can't see the capacity, like where you gradually give the load, you can't stress on the controller LGs. This is the major advantage where we see in the servers. See the 15 minutes for the ramp up of 5 lakh, and where there's one scenario where it was like told like 1 million tests is also done in 15 minutes. If they are scenario where if their LGs are in the house, where it depends on the LG configuration, but if it is custom cloud, it will be very fast. I think everybody is clear till here. I'll show the application. I have given the overview of what exactly the LoadRunner cloud is. We can start. If anybody is having doubt, you can
Yeah,
tell me.
this license includes LGs, right?
Yeah, this license includes the not LGs but LoadRunner cloud. The LGs are on cloud. If the LGs are like in the house, like where we are getting connected, but this license usually the test is run in LoadRunner cloud.
Okay. Do we need to configure any LGs to the LoadRunner cloud?
No, there's no need, but I'll show you how exactly it works. I'll show you the application.
Okay.
In
So
terms of
anybody is having
protocol, yeah, I have a question. In terms of protocol supported, is it same as what LoadRunner offers in LoadRunner Cloud?
yeah, it doesn't have major changes, but almost all the protocols but are supported.
Okay.
So once we are logged in, we could see the home page in this way, where this is the create test, and these are all the sample tests which I have like done before this starting the workshop. And I could see this is where you could see create a test using har file. In this scenario, where you can use JMeter scripts for using this, if your scripts are JMeter or Gatling scripts or Fiddler scripts, where if you're aware of the har file, you can use this create a test, where if you're using virtual users for the this uh, web scenarios, but in JMeter you use developer users. We buy in the license part where you can see the virtual users hours, but we buy the developer user hours for if we are conducting in JMeter, same as CSV and REST. And once if you are landing in this page, you go to create a test, and this is the page where if it is almost similar like where we do in a performance center, where we give dry run. Description is given. Here you can add an email where you can generate the reports. Your manager emails and all can be added. It is not like mandatory, but where you can add, as they are like run configuration license mode. As I told, we buy virtual user hours and virtual users and mixed virtual. I'll show you clearly more and learn more where you can. So it's a fixed license enabling you to run any view user type. It's a virtual user, and it is where we run the script hourly based. we are going to run how many hours our test is going to be effective. In that, accordingly, virtual user hours are purchased. As I said, if you are using other protocols where true client and all, we are using the protocol types are GUI. For the web and all, HTTP and all, web and dev users are bought for Apache, JMeter and all. This might be a lesser than the virtual user. Dev users might be lesser price than virtual users. The next option is like duration and iteration. I think the most of you are aware what exactly the iteration is. As you can see, if you want to run the test for around 3 hours, then you go for duration. But where accordingly you want to run the script iteration wise, around 1000 iterations and all, you go with iteration wise. And all this is called pause scheduling up to 1 hour. There's a case study where you want to run a test for 10 hours, and in between 10 hours there is an like locking period where you have to pause the test. In that scenario, where you enable this option and give the duration here for 1 hour or 2 hours, you can stop the test where it is in the maintenance period. There is our scenarios where you have like 10 hours test, and in between you have those maintenance hours, one for 1 hour or 2 hours, where you can go for this option. And like adding view users while running the test, where if you want to add view users, you add this option like add view users. And delayed start and all, if you want to delay this test, you go for delay start. And excluding think time for TRT, like if you want to exclude think time, then you go for this group transactions and all. I'll show you in learn more what more exactly what.
So Shavya,
Yeah.
you have 1,000 hours, right?
Yeah.
So for 1 hour, how many virtual users I can keep for free max?
For 1 hour, how many users?
Yes.
See,
So my test,
one hour. See, if you are conducting a test for we have 1000 users, 1000 virtual user hours. So you want to conduct a test for 1 hour.
yes.
So it consumes only one. Hope it is clear. Like your ramp up and ramp down, maybe the test includes around for 3 hours.
Okay.
Then the 3 hours is utilized. We are actually utilizing hourly based.
So the virtual users can be any number, 10, 20, 100, 200,
Yeah,
500 also.
virtual users can be any.
Okay. So there is no limit.
No, there's no limit.
Okay.
So this is group transaction, where if you enable this, if you're having similar transaction names, it is going to group the transaction and show you in the report. These are options called data and log, where if you want to enable your logs, shows script errors and all, it can be, you can enable these options, collect user logs from cloud-based load generator. These are all like options where we come across. So far, anybody is having any doubt in this tab? Like this is the basic one where we. If if you can see, if I'm giving iteration where I can't add users while running the test, I couldn't add the users. Where in duration, there's an option where you can add while running the test. I think everybody is clear till here. The next comes where we add the script here, where there's an option called upload. I have a script here, and I hope everybody like we have to zip the file and transport, and while we have to zip it, like not from the only the inner part, the outer folder only have to. Shall I show that part, or
Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, the script has to be zipped in this way. Send to and compress the folder. Most of them do the zipping from here, but that is not a correct way.
Shavya, your screen is not visible. You're not sharing your screen.
Okay, just a second. I think now it is visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could see the script, everybody can see the script, Vusion scripts.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you have to zip it from here, send to and compressed. Most of them do it from here, but it is wrong. You miss the data where. This is the correct way where you zip the file and then we take it from here, export, import from this here. I'll show you how do we import. As I have already have a script here.
And Savya, I think we have to delete the result folder as well inside the script before zipping it.
I don't think it is like necessary to delete the results folder. Which one like you're talking, if my screen was visible to you?
Yeah. So yes, it is visible. So if you go to the inside script folder,
Just a second.
no, I mean again, the sharing has lost.
Yeah, now it is visible.
Yes, it is visible. So you can see here there is a result folder there. Or just scroll up. Scroll up. Yeah, that's data and then result one. Yeah. So actually, this will contain all the iterations which we execute through the Fusion. So I think this is not required when we are zipping the folder and uploading to any maybe
Yeah,
cloud.
this might. Yeah, this might so far in my knowledge, I don't think like it is compulsory to delete it. It might not be required, but the process we zip is this way, send to and zip, in order not to miss any folder data.
No, actually, result folder it will contain the the result for the iterations which we have executed through the Fusion. So that is
Okay.
not required. So actually, what we used to do is since I am using Performance Center, so there also we have to zip the folder and then upload the script to the Performance Center. So normally we used to delete the result folder. so that it should not make the script bigger.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I didn't come across it. This might like help. Thank you for
Yeah.
telling. Yeah, but the process where we zip is this is the correct way, right? We come out and do the zip in order to not miss.
Yes, this is
And
fine.
Yes, correct.
But as per RY says that if we zip it with the results, the size of the file becomes more. Is that right?
okay.
Yes, correct. Yes, yeah. In order to decrease the size of the file, we will delete it then folder.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for telling. In this way, we zip the folder and we'll upload it. Here is the option where we can upload. Already the script is uploaded. Maybe it will show it is uploaded. Yeah. As you can see, the script, if by mistakenly, if you have deleted the script, there where we have like we can see the scripts in assets. Like it is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If it is deleted, if it is visible in assets, so we can pull the scripts from assets as well. There's no need to upload it from again. Add from, you have this option, see, add from assets. You will be adding the script here, and where these are the option where as you said, we are going to configure, like in somebody has told we have to configure the LGs. There's no configuration of LGs, but so it is running in the cloud base. We can add the location, whatever the location is needed. Here is the option where you can see this distribution and edit location. Currently we'll go to we'll take London and Milan. Okay. And we have this 3 distributions, and here we can see the WAN good typical, the network emulation where we can edit. Here where the distribution should be equally given. If you are giving 20, 40, and see, you can see this mark, it is greater than 100. So the distribution has to be equal to 100. In this way, we are going to give the distribution of each location where it is needed. And this is the Rendius. Yeah.
But yeah, we're not required to give this bandwidth or typical Wi-Fi. We need to give any bandwidth over there.
Yeah, if you are aware of this, any network emulation options, you can give. These are not compulsory, but this is where we are distributing the load.
Okay.
This is what is majorly important. If
the
this is all like, yeah, WAN and all typical Wi-Fi network, this comes under network emulation. If you are aware like how much network has to be generated and all, you can give, but this is not a mandatory task.
Okay. So by default, if you give this and leave it, it might take a default maximum bandwidth utilization.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what is called Rendius Point. If the script contains Rendius points and all, it automatically generates. My script doesn't have any Rendius points, so we couldn't see here. And this is where a typical like SLA, all our like transactions are given here, where you can declare the SLA seconds. Here it is defaultly given as 3 seconds. If it exceeds more than 3 seconds, then you can see SLA errors while running the scripts. If you want to give this, you have to enable this and then change it. And you can see this options like 85, 90, 95, 99. Defaultly it is in 90, where you can see the percentile. If your client want like 99 percentile, where you go for 99 percentile. Defaultly we are going for 90 percentile. Hope it is clear till now. I'm going to give 2 seconds. The SLA of each transaction seconds I have declared. If it exceeds 2 seconds, then you can see the errors in the script, like SLA errors, not normal errors. This is single user performance, where if you want to go through more breakdown transaction wise, where you can enable these options and see web page test report and all. Till here it is clear, right? These are the major important options where we have to start running the test.
I have one question actually. So
Yeah.
sometimes we have to upload some files, right, during the load test. So when you're using performance center, we place all our test data in LG machine, right? So using Stormrunner, how can we implement that?
So far I didn't come across this situation.
Hmm.
Maybe we do have the file path declared in that scenario where we can pull the data.
Okay.
But I'll just go through that question which you have given.
Okay, thanks.
So this is the load test asserts, and this is the results part. These are the options, and our test is like dry run, right? In this scenario where if you could see in controller we have basic schedule and real time, but here it is we have an option like simple, manual and advanced. In this simple, we just give there's a start time where you can if you want to start a scenario after 1 hour, you want to take a break, and where you can declare this 1 hour and start the scenario. Usually we don't do like that. If anybody is like want to start the scenario after 1 hour, you can declare this 1 hour. We could see ramp up, uh, duration, and tear down is where ramp down. This is the simple where we perform. In if you are going like controller wise, where you can go to manual, where you see ramp up and ramp down. It is similar to controller. So you're giving your ramp up here 5 seconds. It automatically calculates. If you're giving for one user 5 seconds and one user 5. This is similar to the controller where we declare the ramp up and ramp down. It automatically calculates the ramp up and ramp down duration and all. If you're declaring one user, here you can see the 10 users, how we can see. And here is where this is called real world scenario where advanced. I don't know why this advanced is not enabled. I think this needs some premium if, option. Previously, it used to work. In this advanced, where we have multiple ramp up, ramp downs, and duration where we can add for each user ramp down, ramp up, each user ramp down. It's not enabled. So far, it is clear. Anybody is having any doubt till here? It's similar if you are clear with performance center controller, it doesn't have major changes. It's around 5 to 10% only. I'm here to share the application, how it does work in cloud. What are the changes? Anybody is having any doubt?
I don't have that.
Okay. Let's start the test. While starting the test, see, we have added the add users during the test. So here is there's an option where we can add 10% is where one extra user can add. In the same way, 20%, two extra users can add. This is the option where how many extra users can be added while running the test. Here is where we would declare how much percent. And while running the test, we do check runtime settings. Pacing is fixed 1 second. I'll give 15 seconds. Replay with think time. So these are the few options where we check while running the test. Save locally. There's an option save locally and globally. If you can see, if you are saving it locally, it is going to save it here. If you are choosing globally, it is going to save globally where we have this scripts and assets. So far, we are good, like we have set the scenario. Till here, if anybody is having doubt, you can tell me. I'm going to start the scenario. So we did not like enable the options of single user performance. So these are all zero only, monitor and single user. And it is all initializing environment where you can see it is requesting load test machine for the 3 locations we have declared, Milan, London, and Virginia, where it is using AWS. It has 2, AWS and Azure, where these are all under AWS. It is starting requesting machine. Anybody is having any doubts can ask me now. Like it takes around 2 to 3 minutes to start the test. You have to observe all these. It's setting up the load machines.
What is this single user performance if it would have any enable?
I think it is the one user performance where we can see how it is performing. If hope you remember, there was an option like in down left side navigation where transaction wise breakdown. If we could enable that, we could see this transaction wise breakdown where it is somewhat monitoring hit by hit server level.
Okay.
Majorly the cloud, it is like, as I told, it has elastic server. It can like customize its elasticity accordingly. So the load can be anything, but it's going to withstand. That is the reason where the LoadRunner cloud is more into market now. There are many clients which are going to like it. There are cases where there are 10 lakh users where we have to run the test. But we see LGs couldn't support if you are using our LGs, but cloud LGs where it has elastic nature, in that scenarios it is very useful. So you can see the test is started. If you could see the elapsed time, running users, throughput, transaction per second, hits, failed users, and passed, if you could see 184 passed. And I have enabled an option called SLA of 2 seconds, where if it exceeds more than 2 seconds, we can see this SLA warning. If script contains errors, we can see. So this is scenario where LG alerts. Just a second, it is stopping the test. This happened because I think the think time didn't get enabled. Okay, this might take few minutes again. That error actually occurred because the runtime settings which we have done, it didn't get reflected. The server got continuous hits. So far, anybody is having any doubts, you can ask.
Suppose if we have to configure any APM tool with this cloud load on the cloud, so we can do that as well.
Yeah, I think I did not explore that option actually, but there's an option called monitor, right? I'm
Okay.
hoping there's an option. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can configure.
Okay. And one more question, when we used to use the performance center, so at that time
Yeah,
even so there we are using the LGs, okay, where we have to manually we have to configure the LGs. So
yes,
like
yes.
what happens? So what happened? Like when we are running the test. So the result collection sometimes fails, okay, and then we have to manually, we have to go and retrieve the results from each of the LGs. So since in the LoadRunner cloud we don't have any manual LGs, so we are they also we are using cloud LGs. So suppose if the collision result collision fails, and
Yeah,
so how we can obtain that in that case.
if the results fail.
Yeah, suppose if the result collation which it is not able to collate the result when the test is stopped, and then since the LGs are again it's on the cloud, so we are not sure which cloud LGs has been used. So in that case, how we can again get back the results.
Here is actually a simpler way. Actually, once the test is done, I'll show you how do we collide the results. It's like a downloading form only.
No, that is fine. Okay. That
Yeah,
once the result has been collected, then we can download it from we can download it from the results. But if the result itself has failed to collect, then I think
I didn't come
normally
up.
that happens. Okay, normally
Yeah,
that happens in performance center. So that's
yeah,
what
I understand. Yeah, it happens in performance center, but in this scenario, I don't know how do we solve it.
okay. Okay.
So you can see the graphs which are running users throughput hits per second, and here is a transaction summary where it's not exceeding anything more than 2 seconds success rate and all. If it exceeds more than 2 seconds, we could see the SLA warning. So I think once the test is completed, as you told, no, the colliding might fail. Here this option might enable export to CSV,
Okay.
where it is actually a in performance center it takes time to like collide the results and all, but here it doesn't take much time and all. We just download the results, export.
Okay. I think this will give into the CSV format.
Yeah,
And I think from here also we will have an option to prepare the HTML report as well.
yeah, we have CSV, Word and PDF. If you want to see running users graph, here we are going to click on here and click on show. This is the script location. and all. If you want the graphs to be shown here as well, we are going to click on this right click and it's per second graph. Throughput graph can be seen here. In this way, we can see all the errors, transaction, any graphs, or it is actually similar to Performance Center only. If you're aware, there are no major changes, only this SLA. And here this option is called adding users. If you want to add, we can add here. Apply maximum we can add 12. Currently they are 10 running because as we have given only, if I hope I remember, 10 or 20% we have given.
Okay.
Here the script, yeah, searching the script and adding. I think so far it is clear. Once the test is completed, I'll show how do we collate events. There's actually much to learn. I have only a small amount of experience. I have done only one project where I wish to uh, like share my knowledge. LoadRunner Cloud is now actually where clients are choosing to run the test for huge number of users, where it is compatible, more elastic and flexible, and even cost efficient.
Any idea how much the license normally used to cost?
How much?
How much the license will cost if you're running, maybe 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs users per hour?
Yeah, in Indian currency, it costs around 50 lakhs. But yeah,
Okay.
but I don't think like the client like it would be. It's not worthy. It's worthy.
But
They are
still,
like
right.
yeah, free tools, but it has its own advantages.
And how about integrating load on a cloud with any CI/CD pipeline? We can do that as well.
I'm not aware of that. LoadRunner with which pipeline?
Maybe through Jenkins or where we can do the continuous integration continuous performance testing.
I think I do think we have those options, but I don't know. We have to explore. As I said, I have a minimum amount
Oh,
of experience in this. But
okay.
yeah, as I told, they are like different for JMeter and all different files for HAR files and all where we can. But usually for web we do virtual hours, but for whereas JMeter, Gatling and all they are developer users.
Okay.
There's an option here where we can compare the tests as well. Here is where options where we can navigate whatever doubts we have any option wise in Learn. So you can see the test has been completed. Here is an option called reports where we find all the reports. If we have to click on all these to enable what all is necessary which we need. If we enable only a summary, then only summary is going to be exported. So once these are all checked, we go to the email. If you want to email it or all, to email reports or export to PDF Word and all, I'll show you in PDF, report to PDF. Once this is exported, you will find this in the notification where it is downloading. So you can see the PDF form which we have seen. The since we selected 90th percentile, we could see only 90th percentile. If you have selected 99, we could see 99, and all the minimum, maximum, and all breakers and the transactions, hits, errors, all graphs in the PDF format, and any errors regarding HTTP, location distribution, number of scripts, and all in the PDF format. Here is in the Word format. The summary and the top, we have all selected these options whatever we wanted, so only we got all these top transactions and all. If it doesn't require a top transaction or errors and all, this might be excluded. This is in the CSV format. Anything, any doubts or something? I hope the session is effective and all some information has been given. I'm not a pro, but then I'm trying to figure things and help people. If anything, any suggestions needed or any doubt, you can raise. We have another 5 minutes.
Thanks, Javier, for sharing your knowledge on this cloud.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Savia. It was very helpful session.
Thank you, Rajesh. Any
Thank you,
doubts?
ma'am. This is get interactive. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.